Guess what? We moved to Kenya.
Woo.
Hey guys, it's Ijeoma Kola here, and
hello, this is Jonathan Kola.
if it's your first time here on my channel, hey, what's up? Hello. I like to create content that combines beauty and brains with style and substance, and today I'm going to be talking about my husband and my decision to move to Kenya. We're actually here now. We've been here for 2-3 days. So yeah, we're just going to share how we ended up here, why we decided to move, why we decided to move at this specific time, and hopefully it's going to cover all your questions. If you haven't subscribed yet, make sure that you hit that subscribe button somewhere on here. As always, if you have any questions or comments or whatnot, feel free to leave those down below. Otherwise, I think it's time to start chit-chatting. So there are two main reasons why we moved to Kenya in the first place, and then there are two reasons that kind of explain why we moved to Kenya like right now. If you guys are familiar with me and my channel, you know that I just finished my PhD. I also am expecting, so there's a lot happening in this time in this season. I'll talk a little bit more about the timing and how that all made sense to us a little later in the video, but first I want to start with Jonathan and find out kind of like why Kenya?
Why Kenya? Well, I grew up in Kenya. I grew up in Nairobi, and it's my home. My family is here, and I wanted to have the experience of working in Kenya. I never really worked in Kenya. Worked in Nigeria for a couple of years, but I always wanted to work in Africa. So I figured this time around, well, she's from Nigeria. No, I've done the Nigeria thing. Let's try and...
I've done the Nigeria thing.
Yeah.
I've been there, done that.
I've been there, done that, but it seemed like a good option to move to Kenya. Number one, because of work opportunities. Number two, because it's a pretty comfortable place to live, I think. You can get a lot of amenities that we were used to in Jersey City. And number three, family is here. Number four, weather is great.
Yeah, so if you watched our, what video was that? We did a video in February about the weather, and you remember that? We're talking about like winter date ideas, and you said that winter was from September to April in the US.
Actually, when we left, winter was coming in. Yeah.
Winter
August.
was not coming in August.
No.
Anyways, when we first started dating, so 2011, did you know that you wanted to move back to Kenya?
Yes.
I'm asking because I feel like it was pretty clear when we first started dating that that was something that you wanted to do. And for me, I knew that if we were going to move forward in a relationship, then that's something that I would have to contend with. So one of the things that I did when we were dating very early on is I visited Kenya. So the first time I visited Kenya was in 2013. So I'd been to South Africa, I'd been to Nigeria, obviously, but I'd never been to East Africa, and I knew nothing about Kenya. And it's funny because I think that when you grow up in America, even though I am African and from Africa, I was born in Africa, I still think that to some extent you internalize some of the stereotypes about Africa. And so when I came to Kenya and there was like power 24/7 and like roads and Wi-Fi, I was like, this is like great, like this place is amazing.
So you didn't think there was Wi-Fi?
So there's no Wi-Fi in my village. Okay, also another difference is that Jonathan's family in Kenya lives in the city. They live in Nairobi. My family in Nigeria lives in the village. When we go to Nigeria, we go to the village. There's no Wi-Fi in the village. I think my house now has Wi-Fi, but like 6 years ago, there was no Wi-Fi in the village. There was definitely, we have running water, yes we do, but there was no power 24/7. Like no, actually nowhere in Nigeria is there power 24/7, I think. So I was really shocked when I came to Kenya for the first time and really kind of like taken aback by how like cosmopolitan and like metropolitan it was. I was like, oh, this is just like another place that you could be and whatnot. So that was important to me to visit Kenya before we even got really serious, because I knew that if we were gonna get serious, that that's something that might happen. And you know, you don't want a situation where you like marry somebody and then they say they want to move and you're like, nah, I'm not moving with you. So, you know, then what do you do?
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, so I kind of knew in 2013 that I would be okay probably with the idea of maybe living in Kenya for some period of time. Who knows if it's short-term, long-term, we're gonna figure it out as we go. But I knew since then, so for the majority of our relationship, that we could end up in Kenya, and I'd be totally happy with that and totally fine with that. So why now? Why summer of 2019, as we have so much going on? We're expecting a baby in like how many months? 4 months? 6 months. Oh, time's flying in 4 months. So yeah, why move now?
A couple of reasons. So one reason was that Ijeoma here finished Yeah, she defended her dissertation successfully about a month ago.
About a month ago.
Yeah, so
Hey.
yeah, so it would have been difficult to move before then.
Yeah, I actually wanted to move while I was writing my dissertation, but Jonathan was like, "You're not gonna finish if you leave America," which was true.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, so that gave us a bit of freedom. And then another reason is when I went to business school, I did make a commitment to the terms of a fellowship that I was granted to work in Africa after a certain period of time. So based on that commitment, I tried to make it happen. I was supposed to make it happen sooner, but you know.
he was basically waiting on me to finish. So for me, the timing made sense because yeah, I finished school. I have been in school consecutively for my entire life. So I was planning on, regardless of, you know, where we lived after I finished school, I was definitely planning on taking a little bit of time off from school just to kind of like figure out what I wanted to do in my life anyway. Calling it a gap year because I went straight from high school to college and straight from college to a PhD program. So I've just been in school my entire life.
How does that feel?
It feels terrible. I mean, it feels great now because I'm like, for real, never having another first day of school ever, unless I teach, but that's like different. Anyway, because I'm kind of taking a gap year anyway, like it seemed like, you know, like sure, let's move to Kenya for a couple years and try it out and see what happens. I think it would be different if I had approached my PhD knowing immediately that I wanted to do a postdoc or apply for an academic position or do something else right after, but I knew kind of like 3 years ago that I wanted to take a little bit of time off right after my PhD just to like recenter and refocus myself. So yeah, I was down for the move. And the other work that I do as a blogger, you can do from anywhere. You just need Wi-Fi, and there's Wi-Fi here, so that's really all I need. I was like, yo, is there Wi-Fi? Because that's really, I just need some Wi-Fi, bro. The last thing for me is that although I will be honest, like I never really envisioned living in Africa when I was growing up. Actually, I thought about doing youth service. So youth service is a program where postgraduates work in like somewhere in the country in Nigeria, kind of like a Peace Corps, but local people are working locally rather than like outsiders working. But that's really the extent to which I envisioned or thought about really working in Africa. But again, Nigeria is very different from Kenya. Even Lagos is very different from Nairobi. And although maybe I could swing like living in Lagos, hey, it's just really hectic, man. And I think that especially expecting the baby, I think it would be a lot to try and contend with like the craziness of Lagos right now. So yeah, Nairobi's a lot calmer, yeah, than Lagos is. And then lastly, America's just on something right now. Like there's a lot going on, especially as I think about bringing life into the world. Do I still believe in the American dream and an American democracy? I don't know. It's slipping away. I know that when my parents moved to America in the early 90s, that was definitely the best decision, and I'm super grateful that they raised me in the States. I can't say for certainty anymore that raising a child in America is better than raising a child anywhere else. There's so many, like from gun violence to, I don't know, like immigration issues, the view of minorities. There's a lot of economic disparity. And even though we're privileged, like we're both college educated, like very well educated, so you know, wherever we raise our kids, they'll probably have a level up than most people. Man, it's just hard thinking about how to raise like a Black child in America right now.
Yeah, also health disparities like in asthma.
There are health disparities like in asthma. Thank you for bringing up my dissertation that I'm trying to move away from and take a gap year from. As I think we mentioned earlier, it's not necessarily permanent. It is kind of like a trial run, and we'll see how it goes. And again, we're privileged to be flexible enough that if need be, like we'll just go back to America and call it a day. And likely we'll be shuttling kind of like back and forth because my immediate family still lives in the States. My brothers are there, my parents are there, so my people are there and I already miss them a little bit, but yeah. We'll be fine. I feel like I might get a question about how I'm feeling about all of this. How are you feeling about the move?
I feel pretty good.
Okay, no like conflicting emotions?
No.
Okay, so I am really excited to be here. I'm really excited for this new adventure. I feel like I've been in a place, this is just my year, like this has been my year. 2019 has treated me so well, and so I have so much faith that if God brought us here, that he's going to create a way for us to succeed in this journey. So I'm super excited. I'm also scared out of my mind. Just gonna be honest, like it is scary to abandon everything that you know and go to a completely new place. I mean, granted, I've been here 5 times before, so it's not as unfamiliar if I just like move to somewhere random. And we know people here, we have family here. I've made a couple of friends here already, but it is scary, and I am terrified, but the excitement is currently outweighing the anxiety. But yeah, just wanted to be open and honest about the fact that I'm doing it afraid, and I'm still doing it. But yeah.
Thank you for sharing.
Thank you for listening. You know, if you're here in Kenya, please, please, please comment down below. I need some more friends. I need to know where to get my nails done. Like, I need to know everything. I think that's actually the hardest part so far. I'm like, where do I go, like, get my legs waxed? Like, where do I go? I have to figure out a lot. And you have to figure out stuff too. Like, where are you about to get your haircut? You have a spot? You have a barber? You gotta find a new barber. That's a real thing. Your boy Fee is not here.
He's not.
Yeah. So that's gonna take some time, like adjusting and figuring out like our spots and our places and stuff like that. But yeah, we're here. I'll keep you guys updated. Currently we're staying with Jonathan's mom for a few days, but then we're gonna go get our own spot, and I'm looking forward to sharing an apartment hunting tour, like a house hunter style. I want to do like an apartment house hunter style video so you guys can help us choose an apartment once we're there. He clearly has not heard about this idea before, but it's such a good idea. It'll be so fun. Yeah, and then once I decorate, I'll make a new video about that because you guys really liked the Jersey City apartment tour video. So yeah, I'm just excited to, you know, tons of new content opportunities and tons of, I don't know, the air is fresher here too. So maybe I'll get some new ideas about what to do with my life because I don't really know what I'm doing. But yeah. That's all. Thanks so much for watching, guys. Hope you enjoyed this video. See you next time. Bye.